What we see here is a combination of the HUMAC 360 with the HUMAC balance system. And so as a therapist, we're looking real time at this movement, but we're also looking at a center of pressure plate right in the middle there. And it's not so much for the patient to see, it's for the therapist to see so that they can know how's the patient applying power with balance at the same time. And this is a pretty complicated, difficult movement with the hips coming back and trying to keep balance in a combined center of gravity. That's a lot going on. But the nice thing about it is that the clinician can then see where potentially changes could be made. I'm going to get out of this screen so that we can enlarge the center of pressure plate. So we do that by getting out here. I'm going to hit stop. Then I'm going to go to my devices. And we were using the HUMAC 360. Now we're going to go to balance. So I'm going to disconnect this. I'm going to go to my balance plate. And I'm going to connect that balance plate. Fairly intuitive. And then we're going to training. And we're going to look at center of pressure. Good. So now we have a nice big image to show what's going on with Jackie as she performs this complex movement. And you can see there's a trail, so we can see where we've come from. Good, and then just go ahead and come up. Excellent. And so you could make the case here that consistency is even more important than relative position. If she's all over the place fore and aft, that's one thing. But if she's staying in one place throughout the entire range of motion, so now she's getting pretty well dialed in. And so that's a nice controlled movement with very little swing or momentum, because if there were, it would show right there. So we have this controlled movement where Jackie's really dialed into what her balance is relative to the movement she's performing, the multiplane resistance. Let's throw some momentum ballistic action into that. I'm going to have you speed up and try to accelerate that movement, and let's see what happens with the balance. So what this is showing is a fore-aft orientation, whereas if she were too far forward, the green box would get bigger, and if she were too far backward, the red box would get bigger. So just go ahead and sort of swing forward and backward to show that. Just swing and see how that works. And so again, her goal is to keep those two boxes equal size. And then, of course, we have the same settings for left-right versus fore-aft, but it's not as applicable here because this is a very symmetrical movement. And you have your percentage up top as well, so if you need an actual number value, which can then be recorded into the clinician page for recording purposes. It's good. In summary, this software, the HUMAC balance system, has a multitude of uses. It has games for kids. It has standardized protocol limits of stability tests. You can see Jackie's just standing on the plate right now, so if she wanted to do an eyes closed activity, the balancing arm comes up if she needs it for stabilization. It's a really diverse product, and it's clinical grade. It looks like a Wii board, but it's actually a gutted Wii board with really fancy technology inside.